Hello everyone and welcome back to Monsters of the Past. As always, I'm your host Mr. G. And in our third double feature in a row, we're talking about Triceratops' grandparents. So please give a warm Monsters of the Past welcome to Takasaurus and Protoceratops. Takasaurus means paralizard and is a member of the Psittacosaur family. It was an herbivore that lived during the early Cretaceous in Asia. Takasaurus was about as long as people were tall. At first glance, Takasaurus may look like some sort of ornithopod or even a pachycephalosaur, but it was actually a primitive ceratopsid, being a possible ancestor to animals like Styracosaurus or Triceratops. There are three interesting discoveries that were discovered relating to Psittacosaurus. One, we have direct evidence of feathers, which is really cool because non-theropod dinosaurs have almost no evidence of feathers. In this case, Takasaurus' tail was adorned with quill-like feathers. Some scientists even speculate that these would carry over into later ceratopsids, which is why sometimes in paleoart you see quills on Triceratops. The second cool thing is that thanks to fossilized color cells, we know that Psittacosaurus had a light brown coloration with a tan underbelly. And the third cool thing isn't technically about Psittacosaurus itself, but it's related to it, so I'm talking about it. It's the fact that young Psittacosaurs have been found in the stomach of the mammal known as Rapanomymus, which goes to show that not all mammals during the Mesozoic were underdogs. After all, you had this thing that was eating dinosaurs. Small dinosaurs, but still dinosaurs. Meanwhile, Protoceratops means before horned face, and is a member of the Protoceratops family. It was an herbivore that lived during the late Cretaceous, also in Asia. Protoceratops was roughly 8 to 10 feet long, depending on measurements. One look at Protoceratops and it's clear how it got its name. Being smaller than Triceratops and lacking horns, it's pretty clear that these were pretty early ceratopsids. Although despite that, they were actually pretty late in the dinosaur line, so, yeah. Anyway, Protoceratops are some of the most common fossils in the region, indicating that they were a very numerous species. In fact, we have so many fossils that we've pretty much mapped out their entire growth cycle. The most interesting Protoceratops fossil is known as fighting dinosaurs, and it shows a Protoceratops fighting a velociraptor. This was an incredible discovery, as it's like a borderline screenshot of the era with a predator-prey relationship. The current theory as to how this was captured was that while the two were fighting, a sand dune collapsed on top of them, crushing them to death. Alright, let's look at the cards. Takasaurus. No quills, outdated colorization, only list one species when there were multiple. 7 out of 10. Protoceratops. Claims it was the first ceratopsid, despite the fact that they literally have a card about Takasaurus, and they also claim that Takasaurus was Triceratops' ancestor, and, I don't get what they're trying to say here. Anyway, this card also has some overly speculative features, like they gave it horns on the side of its frill, and they gave it a nasal horn. These are some very, very, very speculative features that don't have any fossil evidence towards them. Oh yeah, it also claims that the fighting dinosaurs fossil was found in China when it was actually found in Mongolia. This next thing isn't an error, it's just an observation I've noticed, is that on the back of the card it shows it fighting a velociraptor, obviously in reference to the fighting dinosaurs fossil, but the velociraptor portrayed here looks nothing like the one on the velociraptor card. As you can see, this one actually has feathers. That is very interesting. I give this one an 8 out of 10. Now let's look at these things in pop culture. A statue of Takasaurus appears in the Jurassic Park section of Universal Studios. Takasaurus appears in Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder. And it has a blink and you'll miss it cameo in Fantasia. Protoceratops was also in Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder. It was in a Land Before Time cereal commercial of all things. And it appeared in the Walking with Dinosaurs spin-off Chased by Dinosaurs. That's all for this episode of Monsters of the Past. Join me next time when I finish up this double feature quadrilogy. Bye!